Don't let your offense be in vain.
You won't defeat me! Wait, what?
I'll show you how to shatter Vane's shield game once and for all. You can think of Vane's down special, aka one for all, as a defensive trap. This shield can absorb strikes and projectiles to hold down the neutral. So Vane uses this tool to buff his approaches and nerf yours, especially against zoning. It's good for Oki and locking you down in the corner. He can hide behind it to prevent you from punishing his attacks, letting him snipe you with his long-reaching back special for free. Not to mention that when you strike the shield, your move is slowed down, and Vane can use this opportunity to pick up a whiff punish and rob your HP. Specific interactions can seem wonky and confusing, so I've been labbing for ages, trying to figure out the cracks in this move, and cook up this theory. A single strike or projectile becomes utterly useless when its hitbox passes through the non-ultimate versions properly. So if your move's hitbox activates after you pass through the shield, you'll phase through it like a ghost. But if it's a single hit, as long as it touches a shield, it's nullified. So that's why Vane can safely stand in between you and the shield, against some moves like his back special, or one-hit beams like Avatar Belial's 5, setting up degeneracy like this. It can nullify something even when the shield is behind you, like against UL's down special. And as for traps like Kags, the shield will become its target, if it's on top of them when Vane activates it. But that's just a theory, a game theory. Be on the lookout for Vane raising his halberd in front of him to react to its startup. Show Vane that this isn't a blocking game by using this gap in his defense. The normal versions don't spawn right on top of him, so there's always a little gap. Exploit this by reacting with a move that advances before it's active, like Dash Light. Due to the high total frames when Vane uses one for all, you can get a punish if you react early enough. So part of countering it is actually getting in range to execute this tactic. Plus, the shield will go away if Vane blocks or gets hit. So if you aren't quick on the draw, you can still get the job done. Moves that hit at Vane's location, like Kag's forward special, will do the trick as well. Also, the shields can't block skybound arts. Here's another way to look at it. The normal versions can only take one hit, so projectiles with multiple hits could get the drop on Vane. But heavy fireballs seem like they're too slow to punish in time consistently. So when they go through the shield, he could just spot dodge in response. And you're probably thinking of using a lightning-fast ultimate fireball instead. But based on your main, it won't work, since a lot of ultimate fireballs will only count as one hit, sadly. And another thing to think about is his cooldowns. They are non-existent on the light and medium versions, so he will definitely get his shield back before you get your heavy fireball. You could fight the fireball war until you get a read on his habits. But watch out. His back special can actually dodge and destroy you for trying to use a projectile, no matter the range. Don't worry, because I'll show you exactly how to counter his back special in a future video. So subscribe to see that as soon as it drops. The spoils of the Fireball War could be getting a read on when to stop playing the ground game and jump over the shield. Yet another option to get around Vane's defense. But if you get swatted out of the air, Vane gets rewarded with big damage. Also, fast multi-hitting moves can brute force their way through the light, medium, and heavy versions. Here's an interesting interaction. It's like hitting the shield, counts as your move being blocked. This means that you can cancel your normal into a special to make it way safer. For example, Catalina's Far Light is pretty safe at 17 total frames, but it shoots up to an exploitable 28 frames if it hits a shield. But if Catalina cancels into her fireball, it's only 17 frames before the fireball begins to start up. And if she cancels into her armored 5U instead, it's even safer. Or if the Catalina player is feeling especially spicy, they could cancel into an invincible move and go for a hard read on Vane pressuring her. Not to mention that the slowdown from the shield is lowered when you special cancel as well. Each version of the shield slides to its max range over time. The light version goes almost one Colosseum tile away. It has 49 total frames, but the shield itself is actually active at frame 23, right when it appears. The medium version goes 1.5 tiles, to give Vane more room to approach. It has the same total frames as the light version, but the shield appears later, 36 frames into move, making it more likely to hit him out of it randomly. The heavy version goes 2 tiles away, and it's faster at 40 total frames, while the shield is active on frame 23 like the light version. The cooldown is almost 7 seconds, and the shield sticks around for 3 seconds on these versions. Keeping track of these timings could help you in the Vane matchup. It's funny that the normal versions can actually exit the stage when you're close to the corner, leaving Vane wide open. The ultimate version is like an electric fence that shocks you on contact. But it's more like a brick wall, since it's able to tank 3 hits now. It starts up way faster at 14 frames. It has 45 total frames, around the same as usual. It doesn't go far, at almost 1 tile away, but it spawns right beside Vane. It's a bargain bin Aegis reflector. These changes seal up the cracks that we talked about earlier, so don't come back to them. Are you smelling the syrup? It's faster, letting Vane react to your moves much easier, while still having leftover hits on it to approach with. It doesn't go away when Vane blocks or gets hit like the others. It will electrocute you if you try to go through it, use a multi-hitting move, or jump in. It's hard to react with a normal before it's active, since it's only a 25-frame real-time startup under the blue screen slowdown. It's a better call to react with something invincible to be safe. And projectiles from supers get the pass as well, like the ones from Gran and Lucilius. While the ultimate shield still can't block a striking super, it will hit you and interrupt it when you leave your invincibility frames in most cases. But in some cases, like against Vane up close in the corner, when you hit Vane with a skybound art or other invincible move. The move might carry you out of range of the shield's hitbox before the invincibility ends, letting it go through. Also, the ultimate shield is +6 on block, making it a pressure reset when Vane pleases. It can lead to a true block string off of moves like the 3rd hit of his triple attack, close heavy, and crouching heavy. Otherwise, it should have a gap to exploit if you use invincibility. If you're close enough, you can get a guaranteed brave counter punish and avoid a +on-block mix-up. But you'll have to block for a little, since the shield will stick around. This version stays on the field for around 1.5 seconds, and it puts the normal versions of the down special on a 2.5-second cooldown. But Vane still has more tricks up his sleeve when he's on the defensive. Like his armor, that can eat any hit and dish it right back at you. So watch the video in the card above to learn exactly how to beat it. Do you want to see more guides that show you exactly how to win against the latest and greatest new characters and top tiers? Then don't hesitate to subscribe.